死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにガチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君はまだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ万歳。ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランドスライドまで。
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてるね。この世界季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだった大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そう言い放せるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome in to CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage Idot of the 199. Happy to see all of you here. Luckily, everything is calm. No one's freaking out on social media. Everybody's keeping a level head. No one is, there's no panicans out there or anything like that. Everyone is taking the information and not overreacting to every piece of news that is dropped. That is a lot of sarcasm because holy shit, the meltdowns and the freakouts is still happening all across social media based on every piece of information that is released. And we're going to go over some of that today. How is everyone? Everyone is losing their minds. Yes, everyone. And it's just wild to me that people, I guess the last 10 years have not happened. And now suddenly today is the day that it's all over for Trump. He's done. It's over. He hasn't been bought and paid for until today. Today is the day. Well, he was bought and paid for. Russia did control him. Okay. So Russia did control Trump. Prior to that, the Democrats controlled Trump, and now Israel controls Trump. So I guess Israel didn't control Trump when Russia controlled him. I guess they had a bidding war behind the scenes. And I guess Israel won the bidding war, and, Putin kind of got left in the dark. I guess that's how that worked. So I guess I don't really know how this world leader situation works, but I imagine it's like a bidding war. And so congratulations to Israel for winning the bidding war away from Russia, apparently. So that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, so my whole thing is it is very fair to criticize President Trump. And there are people that are criticizing President Trump that I agree with the majority of what they're saying. I agree with a lot of what Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon are saying right now. My issue is, if you've been crying about Donald Trump for the last 10 years, why would I care that you're crying about him now? I don't care. If you've been crying about Trump for 10 years or even 5 years, then I don't care if you're crying about him today. Your words mean absolutely nothing to me. It's the equivalent of, I don't know if you guys remember, some of my sports fans out there, remember an ESPN personality named Rob Parker. Rob Parker basically for over 10 years claimed that Tom Brady was washed up and his career was over. And maybe it was over 10 years. So he continued, even when Brady would win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl, Rob Parker would say, Tom Brady's done. It's over. Well, eventually Tom Brady is going to retire. And at that point in time, Rob Parker will claim, see, I told you. And it's like, no, you didn't. You've been wrong for 10 years. Now that there's an issue, I think there's valid criticism of President Trump, and people like Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon and some others are very credible in their criticism of President Trump because they've been supportive of President Trump. And now all of a sudden the people that have been crying about Trump forever are now, they want to be taken seriously, and I don't take them seriously at all. And that's kind of where it's at. It's kind of like, it's just credibility matters in your criticism. Credibility matters. So, We got over on Rumble, we've got Lamb Chop dropped 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships, Lamb Chop. Shorty Short says, after Iraq and Afghanistan, no more wars for USA. Beastie Man says, still seeing lots of panicans. Also, hail Jeremy. There's a ton of panicans out there. Danny Miller says, Jeremy, I want to send your Pride Month gift. I sent to your P.O. Box on FNT this Friday. It was their idea. Only fair they see it. Hail the 199 and FNT. I will check it out. I haven't been to my P.O. Box in about a week, so I will go check it out and see. And if I'm on it, I don't even know if I'll be on FNT this week because there's so much going on. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure. Patriotic Eagle says, reminder, Jeremy flat out. Let's see. Reminder, Trump flat out said to the Taliban leader, you harm one American, I'm going to take you out. I trust Trump 100%. I actually have that clip pulled up for all the people panicking over this right here, this tweet. So Pete, the panicans are out because, oh my God. And then they're posting stuff like, where did this guy go? Like an old clip of Trump. So this right here is classic Donald Trump. This is classic Donald Trump. You know, we know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We are not going to take him out, kill, or at least not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, this is memes are being made from this. Look at this meme right here that was created right here. I love the internet.
That is so Cap Jr. I just pulled your IP. I've got it right now.
No, you don't. Huh. Say
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where you're from.
That's not. Hey!
Oh, I just pulled your IP. 308 Negra Aurora Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's you, isn't it?
No.
I'm on Google Earth right now. I see a pizza on your roof.
That's my grandma's house. Nice try.
No, what? So you're playing at your grandmother's house? You're a loser. Don't even talk to me. You're a loser. Playing at grandma's. What is she gonna make you cookies and? That is.
I know it's old, but it applies right now. It's truly fantastic. I love that clip so damn much. But here's the clip that that they were bringing up earlier. So again, for the panicans that say, "Oh my God, where President Trump is threatening people. Oh my God, oh my God." This was cheered by 100% of MAGA. This clip right here was cheered by 100% of MAGA.
Go ahead, Wesley. You go. You can talk. I'm gonna give you my favorite President Trump story. This is my #1 favorite of all time. When we were negotiating with the Taliban, while President Trump was still the president, President Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan, but he wanted a conditions-based withdrawal, meaning that you do what we tell you to do, and then we will start pulling troops back slowly as long as you abide by our rules. It's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership in the room, and they had one translator in the room. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal. And translator translated. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you. And the translator goes, and Trump goes, tell him.
Yes.
Tell him what I said. Tell him what I said. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
Sure did.
Do you know for 18 months, not a single American was killed in Afghanistan?
Sure did.
That's the definition of strength. That's what I'm talking about. And so you could imagine that kind of sentiment being around the world. If we have an embassy in another country, no one's going to touch it.
There you go, right there. Now, again, that was cheered upon like crazy before. So, you know, there's a lot of craziness right now on social media that we're going to kind of filter through. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier with a get the membership. Thank you. Blue Eyed Scorpio for a 199 says, Jeremy, I'm scared. Hold me. The Big Billy becomes a new member. Thank you. Warbeer says, I'm scared too. Will you hold Blue Eyed Scorpio for me? Simple Jeremy says, I blame Jessica's never-ending birthday. Ministry of Wrong Things says, with everyone on edge and so much fake news coming out of the fire hose, how much damage could an AI video of Trump declaring war do right now? I mean, I think that there's fairly a good enough attention out there to where that can be discredited fairly quickly. Something that big. So I don't think so. I don't think that would cause that much of a problem. Krogbay says, Netanyahu is Kevin Spacey as John Doe in Seven. Alan Jen says, I trust our president to do what's right, but I worry after seeing what the last endless war did to people of our generation. No more endless war. I agree with that. I'm 100% against, these nonsensical wars. I don't want boots on the ground. I don't want, to me, people can say, oh, well, Jeremy, if we get involved in Iran, it's going to be fairly quick. It's already been too long. We are wasting too much attention right now on Iran. We're wasting way too much attention on it. And I don't think we should be putting any attention on it. This is Israel's problem, and Israel should deal with it on their own. But we are currently invested in it right now. We are. Our people are worried. Our people are paying attention to it. So we could say that, well, nothing's happened yet, and it hasn't. No boots on the ground or anything like that, but we're already paying way too much attention to this. Our focus is on it. Regardless of what's ultimately happening, I do think that the messaging from the Trump administration has not been great on this topic. Now, there has been a lot of fake news spread out there, a lot of lies, but the messaging directly from the administration, I don't think has been very good for the American people. Now, maybe there's a justified reason for that. That they can say once this is all said and done. But in the middle of this, I don't think the administration has done a good job of communicating with us at all. Gremlin for 20 says, Jeremy, you want to see something interesting? Go to today's Patrick Bet David podcast and put it on an hour and 12-minute mark. You will see how Mexico treats illegal immigration. Very interesting. Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you, Gremlin. I appreciate it. John Wayne says, reminder that if Kamala won, then all political descendants would have been silenced and thrown in prison. You wouldn't have a voice to complain about the many wars the Dems would have gotten us into. I mean, that is true, and I don't think it's a valid argument just to say, you can't complain about Trump because what if we had Kamala? Because we don't have Kamala. And President Trump was elected in a landslide. The American people have a right to voice their displeasure right now with the Trump administration. I don't think that complaining is a problem. I think the panicans are a problem. I think the people that are saying Trump should be impeached and removed from office are fucking retarded. They should not be taken seriously at all. You don't have any credibility whatsoever if you're saying shit like that. If you are very critical of Trump right now for what he's doing or what he might be doing, then I think those are valid things. But again, if you've been crying about Trump for years and years and years, and now today I'm supposed to listen to it, no. But if Trump supporters that have stood by Trump are now critical of him, I have no problem with that whatsoever. And I don't think that their criticism should be dismissed because, well, at least it's not Kamala. I don't think that's a valid criticism at all. I think that what we've seen, what we've heard directly from President Trump over the years, I think in his own words, we would be able to criticize him for this. As a matter of fact, Matt Gaetz put up a tweet just a little while ago. Let me see if I can find it. I know I thought I saved it. If not, I'll just go pull it up. Let me just search. Because, I mean, this right here, this tweet is an old clip from the 2016, like right here. So this, listen to this. Listen to this right here.
Obviously, the war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake. George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East. They lied. Okay. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none. obviously,
So,
the war.
you know, these are there's a lot of parallels with what he's saying right there to what MAGA is saying to him right now. And I just want a little more transparency from the administration. I don't think that there's a lot of transparency right now, which is creating a lot of the problems. So to be clear, I'm on Trump's side. I'm going to support President Trump, but I am very critical of the way that this is playing out right now. I think there are valid criticisms, and I think people should continue with those criticisms. With that said, if you've been crying for about Trump for the last several years, I don't give a shit what you have to say. Your words mean nothing to me. Let's see. Young for 20 says, well, to be fair, Iran is ran by a regime that funds the majority of terrorist groups such as Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis. Trump can't give clear answers right now due to wanting Iran at the negotiation table. And that, again, is a fair point, but we don't know all of the details. And until we can have the details, the bottom line is Trump is making all of this stuff public to help his negotiations, and that's fine, but that's all we see. So all we can do is react to what we're seeing from him. If he was being quiet, and I understand his reasoning for putting a lot of that stuff out there, but it still creates a cause for concern from American voters and MAGA. And so again, I don't think that any of the criticisms of Trump should be dismissed right now, unless it's coming from people that have been crying about him for years. I'll keep putting that out there. My guess is this isn't a war. This is a shutdown. Now, we've got this interview right here, and it's Tucker Carlson had Steve Bannon on, and I think there's some good points in this video. And a lot of what is said in the beginning here, this is where I think the valid criticism comes into play right here. Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon.
Coalition, different parts of American society. You never thought of anything in common. Trump paints a picture that makes it really obvious that the old structure, left versus right, Democrat versus Republican, is basically BS and a control device. I think this is my interpretation anyway. So he creates this brand new coalition. New York Times writes almost nothing about it because it's such a massive threat. But this coalition, which you described earlier and more precisely than anybody by far, is the defining fact of American politics. And it kind of feels like it's being blown up over this war in Iran. That's my observation. Correct me.
Well, I think if you look at the three planks, stop the forever wars, seal the border, and
yeah, I see Trump's national security meeting just ended after an hour. I'm looking to see if there's any details that come from that. So I'm keeping an eye on that.
Support the illegal alien, invaders, and redo the commercial relationships in the world around trade deals and bring high value added manufacturing jobs back here. They're trying to shut all three down, right? But the one that they're obsessed with the most, which I find strange, is the forever wars. They've got to be in the forever wars, and particularly in the Middle East. I mean, this is what, and I'm a big supporter of Israel.
Yes.
And I'm telling people, hey, if we get sucked into this war, which inexorably looks like it's going to happen on the combat side, it's going to not just blow up the coalition, it's also going to thwart what we're doing with the most important thing, which is the deportation of the illegal alien invaders that are here. If we don't do that, we don't have a country. And you just see right now, they're double interpreting out. This is actually potentially a real civil war.
And one thing Bannon says in this is that this just happened out of nowhere. This just came out of nowhere, like overnight. And it feels like this is because we are getting pulled into it by the actions of someone else, which is a huge problem for me and the majority of MAGA supporters. We are the United States of America. We are the world power. We are the most powerful country in the world. We should not be pulled into anyone else's mess because of their actions. We control what we do, not someone else.
In our biggest cities. And President Trump has to have our backing. And so, and this came out of nowhere. I mean, the trade deals you saw, he put together Liberation Day, but they've been thinking about it a long time. I mean, Trump's been talking about this since Lou Dobbs back in the 90s. He lays that out there. It's very sophisticated. He's got Scott Bessent running around with Lutnick. They're trying to make these deals. He sealed the border already in the first 60 days. Now we're really going down and actually having the deportation, see the fight. And then out of nowhere comes a war with Persia. It's like a shooting war with Persia, a massive shooting war with Persia. It's like, how did this happen? And that's why I've been up as a defender of Israel and someone that's very pro-Israel. I've been saying, hey, this is going to be the end of Israel because of the way these decisions have been made. And you have, I think, shockingly today early when we had you on the show, you bring up a point that we have to address, which I think it's the thing itself. What is it about this apparatus? When you have a coalition that's like 1932 that's coming together, like Roosevelt had Harvard professors and crackers and Democrats and ranchers out west and big city bosses and the Irish and the Italians, and he put it all together and they juggled it. And they
got Brooklyn, Butte, Montana, Birmingham, Alabama, and they're all on the same side. Like, how did that happen?
And they govern literally almost all the way to Trump. You know, Reagan took out part of it, Newt Gingrich took out part of it, but it was 50, 60, 70 years. We have the same ability. We have hardscrabble Hispanics on the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas. We have tech bros. We have, economic.
Okay, so just in, President Trump's meeting in the Situation Room with National Security Council has just ended after well over an hour. It's possible we may hear directly from Trump shortly, per multiple reports. So we could be hearing from Trump directly. I will keep an eye on that.
Nationalists, we have economic populists, we have people that want to stop their forever wars. There's three planks. And right at the beginning of it, and it's on the 10th anniversary of coming down the Golden Escalator. That was 10 years ago, Sunday. And I tell people, as many triumphs and tragedies, victories and defeats, good days and horrible days, when we're winning and sometimes we're losing, those 10 years of everything that's gone on is just the preamble for where we are today on the convergence of these crises. And now, all of a sudden, a shooting war where they're taking the Nimitz battle group out of the South China Sea and sending 3 carrier battle groups now to the North Arabian Sea, Red Sea, plus Arleigh Burke destroyers and a whole fleet in the Eastern Mediterranean. We're prepping for a major shooting war. And how did it happen? I think what's most shocking is what you said. Hey, it was like Iraq. You're inexorably just drawn, and decisions kind of just happen. It's like, what's happened over the last 72 hours? How did we even get to this point? How did this actually happen? Who made these decisions when we had the intel out there that this was not like a thing? This was something that was going to happen a year or two from now.
Yes.
Bibi admitted to Brett Baer on Sunday night. And so the question before us is not simply the Israel-Persia situation, is what the fuck is going on in this city that just drives this city, whether you're Barack Obama or Donald Trump. And if we don't sort it out now, I mean right now, that's what we have to have a throwdown. We have to name names. We have to expose it. If we don't throw it out now, throw down now in the summer of 2025, we're not going to have a country. Forget the midterms, forget the next election. Still, we have to have this. What the CIA is, what happened in Ukraine, what the CIA has done, what DNI is doing, what the Justice Department, what the FBI, what DIA and the Pentagon. Because right now we only have a tenuous grip on those. We have 2 people at the FBI, Cash and Bongino. We got a handful of people over at the Justice Department in a massive 30-some person or 15,000, 20,000 person operation. We have 3 or 4 people at DNI with 17 agencies. We're putting a couple of people in there. At the Pentagon, we got Pete and a handful of guys. And every time a guy steps up or the team steps up to say they want to stop the forever wars, they're turfed out. He's lost 10 people since we've even got there. And every time Bridge Colby tries to do something, Bridge Colby's on the front page of that he's an appeaser. So my point is that now we're getting down to it. With all these converging crises, we have an apparatus that reports to Wall Street, to foreign investors, to Silicon Valley, in business with the Chinese Communist Party, that's running the deal. And now's the time if we don't lance the bowl over this country, you're not going to, if you can't turn around with Trump, the Trump team he has, people like you, myself, and they're blessed to have these apparatuses. If we can't do this now, it's not going to get done. And so that's why, to me, it's gone of everything we're doing, stopping the forever wars, redoing the commercial relationships with China to bring jobs back, and sealing the border and sending home deporting 10 million, which is going to be massive, almost like a civil war in these big cities. Of all of those, and I've always said the deportation is the most, to get our sovereignty back, the war we have to have now, the throwdown we have to have now, is with the deep state, and we can't. I think we've looked away too often. We just kind of kicking the can down the road, and if we can't do it now with Trump, it's not going to get done.
I agree with what he's saying there in terms of the standpoint of we have problems that we have to deal with here more so than anything else. We have a foreign invasion in our own country right now. We just had the city of Los Angeles burning because of riots and protests. We had protests all over the United States of America. We had foreign flags being waved everywhere. Why am I supposed to care about what's happening in the Middle East when I'm seeing things happening in my own country? That's the whole point there. Why do I care? As an American who voted for President Trump, why do I care? Why am I supposed to care? Now, the argument of the nuclear weapons and all of that, but the problem is the messaging is all over the place. What was it back in March? Tulsi Gabbard said that Iran was nowhere near, building a nuclear bomb. And now, because Israel decides to bomb or attack Iran, suddenly now they are like days away now. It's bad optics all the way around. And that's one of the things that really does bother me a lot with this situation. I'm keeping an eye on my live feed right now just to make sure that we're not going to get anything from President Trump. But it's COVID all over again. Maybe. The warmongers are like foaming at the mouth. Here's Lindsey Graham foaming at the mouth over this.
Can you guarantee that? Can President Trump in any form, can you make the commitment that this would not lead to a longer war?
I can guarantee you that if the Ayatollah gets a nuclear weapon, he will use it. I believe that with all my heart and soul. So the men and women who serve, they're the ones going, not people answering a poll. And if you ask them, would you be willing to risk your life to stop the Ayatollah from having a nuclear weapon? All of them would say yes, because it makes their country, our country, safer. So we live in a world where you got to confront problems. You want to avoid World War III? Learn the lessons from World War II. People in World War II appeased Hitler to the point that it got so much out of hand. We had a world war and 60 million people got killed. So we live in a world where you pay now or you pay later. Let's stop this threat before he gets a nuclear weapon. Let's end this reign of terror. Let's do it now. It's not going to take 20 months, but I can't guarantee you your freedom and your safety unless we're willing to fight for it. I can guarantee you this. If we don't fight for our freedom, we will lose it.
I hate that man so much. I truly despise him. Like he may be of all politicians, I might hate Lindsey Graham the most. I really might hate him more than any politician. He is the absolute worst. Credibility matters. Why would I listen to a warmonger? Why would I listen to a warmonger tell me that we're supposed to go to war? Good Lord. Zach Attacks says, treat Israel issue like the abortion issue. Many of MAGA is pro-Israel, and if he runs full force on alienating Israel, those voters will flee the movement. Trump is trying to find middle ground. I 100% agree with that. I mean, that's the thing about Trump is a deal maker at his core. And a deal maker tries to find the best solution possible for as many people involved. Let's go over to Fox News Live to hear what their update is, because I heard reports we could be hearing from Trump soon.
Now, this as pro-Israel attackers claim responsibility for a cyber attack hitting a major Iranian bank. Customers unable to access their accounts. President Trump taking to Truth Social today as the conflict continues. Quote, we know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We're not going to take him out, parentheses, kill. At least not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Meanwhile, some surreal scenes like this one creating a major split-screen moment in this conflict.
Wow. Wow.
That
I have
video,
not
a rooftop
seen that.
party in Lebanon, and other videos like it out of Lebanon, illustrating how commonplace it all seems to be for missiles to rain down on Israel. As for what's going on in Israel, watching the skyline after Iran launched more missiles towards the north in just the last few hours. So let's get straight to Trey Yingst live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Trey.
Yeah, Will, good afternoon. The Iranians continue to launch ballistic missiles into Israel, but their salvos are getting much smaller. Just last hour, air raid sirens were sounding across the northern city of Haifa, earlier in the day in the Negev desert in the south, and here in central Israel this morning. While Iran is far weaker, according to the Israeli intelligence assessment, they still have the capability to launch these ballistic missiles. But the big question today, Will, is whether or not the United States is going to get involved in the fight. The IDF tells Fox News they have destroyed around 40% of Iran's ballistic missiles, but still, Israeli officials want to go after the country's nuclear program. And as we look forward here, there are a variety of targets, not only in the capital of Tehran, but also other places across the country.
All right, so according to Reuters, Trump is supposed to deliver statements to the press following his National Security Council meeting, which just ended not long ago. So that's why I've got it on the live feed on Fox News, so we can stay here in case they do cut over to Donald Trump. So that's why I'm keeping an eye on that. So that's the latest reports. And that meeting did end about 10 minutes ago, from what I understand. So let's keep an eye on this. I'm just going to keep that feed going and keep it muted right now because we've got other stuff to talk about, but I will keep an eye on that. So let's see here. Thank you for that 10, Zach Attack. Appreciate it. My guess is I can ignore the warmongers and the fake trolls to give Trump the respect I believe he's earned, to let him try to do his job and shut this all down before it becomes something none of us want. Yeah, I mean, the man, Trump at his core, like, he truly doesn't want war. Like, that, it's the last thing he wants. And I do believe that he's working hard to make sure that doesn't happen, if at all possible. I mean, this clip right here from Maze Moore pulled this up. But, I mean, this is 2007. Trump talks about the pain and suffering caused by the Iraq war and how he invites wounded soldiers to Mar-a-Lago. He is not a warmonger. The people saying that are crazy.
So, I mean, this is a total catastrophe, and you might as well get out now because you're just wasting time and lives. You know, nobody talks about the soldiers that are coming back with no arms and no legs. And I saw at Mar-a-Lago on Mondays, I make Mar-a-Lago my club that you know about.
In Palm Beach.
I make that twice now. On a Monday, I let returning Iraqi injured soldiers come to the premises. The most beautiful people I've ever seen, but they're missing arms and legs. They're with their wives. Sometimes they're with their girlfriends, and the tears are coming down the faces of these people. I mean, the thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands, and the Iraqis that have been just maimed and killed. This war is a horrible thing. Now, President Bush says he's religious, and yet 400,000 people, the way I count it, have died, and probably millions have been badly maimed and injured. What's going on?
So, you know, these are the comments we've seen from him consistently. So those are the things that, now, again, the anti-Trump crowd that's jumping on the bandwagon. You know, again, these guys have complained about Trump forever and a day. So now they're just kind of, they see blood in the water, and they're just like taking full advantage. So let's see. All right. So now don't forget, there's a ton of lies out there, but the national security meeting just concluded. According to Israeli officials, they say the U.S. will join the war against Iran. That is according to Israeli officials. I'm keeping an eye on it right now to see what happens. And we have this live feed of Fox News. So let's see here. J.D. Vance, vice president, did address a lot of the stuff going on today. In fact, JD Vance even called out some guy that previously supported DeSantis, which was really funny. Right here. So right here, this guy, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong because the lore has gotten so complicated. I believe this David guy that JD Vance is responding to, somebody can do some researches. I feel like he was a friend of Jack Murphy's. I feel like him and Jack Murphy had a ton of like weird pictures that resurfaced after Jack Murphy got exposed as being a cuck. I think. So anyway, here's JD Vance responding to him. And then I love how JD Vance puts in parentheses that he supported DeSantis in the 2024 primary. This loser who supported DeSantis in the 2024 primary is now attacking my team, which has been working tirelessly to implement the president's agenda. He has no evidence of this BS smear because there isn't any. Dude, JD Vance is like sounding more and more like Trump every day. Calling him a loser is great. But the fact that he decided to qualify it by calling this, that sounds like something I would say. Like, I'm petty enough to remind you that some loser was a DeSantis bro. Not JD Vance. JD Vance is getting petty as hell. I love it, dude. JD Vance is awesome. So calling out this DeSantis bro. It's the best thing ever. All right, let's listen to the Fox News live feed.
Government should today consider with a great amount of humility, but nothing Donald Trump says, nothing President Trump says is off the table.
Is there any guarantee that if the U.S. did get involved militarily, that a U.S. bomb could destroy Iran's nuclear program and facilities?
Everything or anything in our life, you know that. Look at you, right? There's no guarantee. But you're saying a guarantee on what?
Do you think if the U.S. got involved militarily, it would actually wipe out Iran's nuclear program? Or where's your assessment of that?
I hope their program's going to be wiped out long before that. But they're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
Look, wars can spiral out of control. Alliances can be marshaled. War is unpredictable, and we should always, as I do, I hope today here with you, approach this with humility. But as of now, the ask, the demand, and the cost is not high in taking out the interest that Americans might have of an avowed enemy in Iran. But the good note is we've elected a president who does seem to define America first. He is not ideological. He is not philosophical about this. He is strategic in making deals that serve Americans. And I thought Vice President JD Vance laid it out well today. He said, look, I'm seeing this from the inside, and I'm admittedly biased towards our president and my friend. There's a lot of crazy stuff on social media, so I want to address some of these things directly on the Iran issue. First, POTUS has been amazingly consistent over 10 years that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. The president has shown remarkable restraint in keeping our military focus on protecting troops and protecting our citizens. He may decide he needs to take further action to end Iranian enrichment. That decision ultimately belongs to the president. And of course, people are right to be worried about foreign entanglements after the last 25 years of idiotic foreign policy. But I believe the president has earned some trust on this issue. I echo that sentiment. This president of the United States.
This is why I say JD Vance, in a lot of ways, is far better than Donald Trump at delivering Trump's message to people that don't like Trump.
Does understand the analysis of what it takes to arrive at the conclusion of whether or not something serves America first. Let's continue the conversation now with journalist and author Batya Ungar-Sargon and Foundation for Defense of Democracy.
All right, we'll mute that. Nobody cares. We're watching this in case the news breaks that Donald Trump addresses the press. So we have reports that President Trump is going to address the press. If, in fact, let me say this, if Trump addresses the press directly, I consider that's probably not a good sign. That's probably not a good sign if Trump directly says, I'm calling a press conference to address, well, it would be more like addressing the nation. If he addresses the nation, I don't think that's going to be a good sign at all, because he probably means that he's got something to say that we don't want to hear. And again, as I stand here right now, I absolutely do not want Trump to get us involved in this war, in this Middle Eastern conflict. I do not. Let's see. Oh, look at here. Karen Bass. A little shift real quick, but Mayor Karen Bass lifts the curfew for downtown LA. Says the violence and vandalism and looting were caused by the immediate escalation of the situation by the Trump administration. Well, look at there. It's always Donald Trump's fault, isn't it? It's always Trump's fault. Every time. So now that Trump's decision to clean up the city has helped, now they can go back to blaming. Okay, here we go. Now, again, these are just reports right now. The United States will join the war against Iran, according to Israeli officials, as CBS reports that President Trump is considering supporting Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. Now, again, I don't know how many times we've heard reports from Israeli officials that turned out to not be true. So until we hear it directly from the administration, I'm not running with that. Like, I'm not going to take that as gospel at all. I don't like using the word misinformation because the word misinformation is almost like the word racist, where it means absolutely nothing. But there's just a lot of bullshit on social media. Can I just say it like that? There's a lot of bullshit on social media. The word misinformation has been used by fucking betas and losers for so long that I don't even like using that word. But we don't have, I'm looking for any credible sources that are reporting that. And we have nothing at the moment. Nothing at the moment. Let's see. Hopefully it doesn't happen. While we're waiting for that, we did have this happen today. This is a candidate for mayor, Brad Lander, arrested by federal agents at immigration court. According to Fox 5, Lander was trying to escort a man out of the court to avoid ICE detention. This was earlier today.
Back up. Sorry, back up. I don't make this difficult. Sorry. Back up. Just back up. Let's not cause any problems.
Where is it?
Sir,
Where is the warrant?
I would like to see the warrant.
I would like to see the warrant, and then I will let go. I would like to see the warrant, and then I will let go. Take him in. 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 You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Sir, you don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. You don't have to. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. I asked to see the judicial warrant. By asking for a judicial warrant, you don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens asking for a judicial warrant.
Sorry. No way. I'm safe. Where are you taking him? Hello.
Since you have no authority to arrest U.S. citizens, where are you taking me? And with what authority?
Why are you arresting me? And where are you taking him?
So let me get straight. So these police officers, they need to explain to you what authority they have to arrest you, but an illegal immigrant doesn't need to explain what authority he has in the United States of America to United States officials. Isn't that interesting?
Hang on, please, number one. Hold on. Brett, number one right here, all right? Thank you.
Isn't that interesting? Oh, you need to explain to me what you're doing. Why? You don't think that illegal immigrants need to explain anything? They can just run around and do whatever they want, and we're not allowed to ask them anything. We're not allowed to ask them anything. Okay, so no updates as it stands right now. Let's go back to the Fox News live feed. We're keeping an eye. A lot of reports out there. A lot of reports, but nothing concrete at this moment in time. We have a report that it says, okay, we have a report that says, we have 2 weeks to slow the spread of a nuclear bomb. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. 2 weeks to slow the spread, baby. That's all. 2 weeks to slow the spread. Okay, so earlier I saw that, and I didn't watch the clip, but I did see right here. So Crowder had a clip. I want to watch this clip from Crowder. Let's hear what he has to say right now. You can take issues with Trump's stance on Iran's nuclear program. You can rightfully be concerned about the potential of another foreign entanglement. But you can't in good faith, what you can't in good faith do is suggest Trump's stance is somewhat an about face. Yes, I agree with that.
Here's the truth. Trump has always warned of the threat of a nuclear Iran. He's been remarkably consistent, even when he had no ambitions to run for office. Here's a post, you know it as X, back then on Twitter in 2011. It was less raspy, so Iran's quest for nuclear weapons is a major threat to our nation's national security interests. We can't allow Iran to go nuclear. That's in 2011. Do you remember that famous escalator ride that everyone talks about, which changed the fabric of America going forward for good? That was President Trump, 2015. He rode down that escalator and onto the podium to deliver, in part, the speech you're about to see, 2015.
Take a look at the deal he's making with Iran. He makes that deal, Israel maybe won't exist very long. It's a disaster, and we have to protect Israel. I will stop Iran.
What happened to that guy? What happened to that guy? That's what I keep hearing.
From getting nuclear weapons.
So before he was running for president, 2011 was very clear. By the way, at the same time was against the war in Iraq, and while running for the presidency, said that he was always against the war in Iraq. At that same moment in time, saying Iran can't achieve the nuclear enrichment to be able to have nuclear weapons, and then running for president, said the same thing. Here's another truth.
So there you go. Again, there's a lot of people that never supported Trump and then out of convenience supported him in 2024. And now they're criticizing him, and people are going, oh, Trump supporters are turning on Trump. And it's just like ridiculous, like the Dave Smiths of the world. Why should Dave Smith be taken seriously as a critic of Donald Trump? Please tell me, explain that to me. As a matter of fact, so, and that he went like mega viral, Dave Smith, and his complaints about Trump. Okay. So I saw this tweet right here. 2019.
I would be very happy for to see Donald Trump impeached for the illegal, immoral, borderline war of genocide that he's been helping the Saudis conduct in Yemen. Even grading on a curve. He is a war criminal who deserves to be tried and buried under the prison, just right alongside Barack Obama and George W. Bush and John McCain and all the rest of them. Let me just say this real quick. Donald Trump should be in prison for war crimes for what he did to the people of Yemen. How's that for taking on the right? You're just defending your Democratic president. I actually stand on principle.
He stands on principle, guys. In 2021, he stands on principle. He stands on principle.
Lockdowns and keeping Fauci on the job and Yemen and Israel and Iran. And there's just like the government spending. And there's just a lot of them that it's like, I just kind of can't forgive him for. But I think I might vote for Trump.
Principles. Hey, this guy's a war criminal. He should be buried under the prison. But I'm probably going to vote for him because Elon likes him. Elon and Joe Rogan like him a lot. So I think I might vote for him because there's a lot of momentum.
Yeah, Donald Trump looks, and man, I supported him this last year. I apologize for doing so. It was a bad calculation. At the time, it seemed like the right one. But he should be impeached and removed for this one.
Impeached and removed for something that he hasn't even done yet, but impeached and removed. So this is the point I'm trying to make. Is like Tucker Carlson criticized Trump, valid. Steve Bannon criticizing Trump, valid. Somebody like Dave Smith, who previously said he was a war criminal, but voted for the war criminal and is now saying he should be impeached, should never take a person like that seriously at all. Emotionally unstable. And this is the libertarian mindset. Libertarians, they need someone that agrees with them 100% on everything. And if they don't have someone that agrees with them 100%, and this is why they fight with each other so much, because they can't find anybody that agrees with them, even within their own little movement. They're fighting with people in their own movement because they need 100% agreement, because they claim that they have principles. I stand on principle. So that means what? That means you need 100% agreement from someone else? It's crazy. What about Candace Owens? Candace Owens has been flip-flopping on Trump for years, so her criticisms mean nothing to me. She's been back and forth with Trump. It's almost like whatever's convenient for her to get attention. So she's been back. She's been all over the place. She also thinks Harvey Weinstein's innocent. I mean, listen, I'm all for Harvey Weinstein coming back and making Hollywood great again. But if you think Harvey Weinstein is actually innocent, like, come on. But like, we had hot women in Hollywood when Harvey was around. Okay. We definitely had hot chicks in Hollywood for sure. But yeah, but she's friends with Harvey Weinstein now, but Trump's the problem. Okay. Okay, Candace. I mean, it's weird, but I don't have any real problems with Candace Owens, but in terms of her criticism of Trump, I can't really take that seriously because she's been all over the place. And again, emotionally unstable people, when it comes to Donald Trump in particular, like, I don't understand the power that Trump has over people to make them emotionally so unstable. I don't get it. I don't understand how that works. Like, Donald Trump is who he is. He's a person who likes to make deals. He likes, to give himself credit for stuff. He likes when people compliment him. He doesn't like when people criticize him. So, like, for instance, Tucker Carlson, I don't think Tucker was even that bad on Trump, but Tucker decides tries to go after Tucker. But Trump's a deal maker, and he really does look at the whole situation and tries to make the best deal possible. And so many people just lash out and make fools of themselves over the smallest little things that are happening, instead of just taking a few minutes to take the situation in and go, okay, here's what's happened. Now I can give my opinion. It is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Like yesterday, I put out my tweet of, where's my, right here. I put this tweet out, don't be a panickin. I got a guy in the comment section. He says he's literally sending soldiers to die for Israel. Maybe he does do that, but at the time I made this tweet, he has not done that. So you're essentially claiming he's done something that he has not done. Now, if he ends up doing it, then that's fine. But he hasn't done it yet. And people are running with that narrative that he has done it. It's the weirdest dynamic I've ever seen. Patton 360 says Trump is not a warmonger. He believes in strength. Ministry for All Things says they did a No Kings protest in the UK, but changed the name to No Tyrants, but to not offend the royal family. You can't make this up. Good Lord. Really? Young says we can do both of these protests. We can do both. These protests are NGOs and Act Blue funded farces. That's the problem. And the Iranian people are revolting against the regime now. I doubt there'll be a war. It's been like that for years. Yeah, I mean, we're hearing a ton of reports right now that America is going to join Iran, join against the war in Iran. I don't believe that to be the case. But I will say right now, if that is the case, I 100% disagree with that decision. 100% disagree with the decision if, in fact, that happens. But we don't know that yet. But I do not agree with the decision for us to join Israel in this war at all. I 100% don't. Oh, Jesus. And I just saw somebody comment, says Jeremy's 100% trying to justify Trump's war. Holy fuck, man. Again, you people are completely broken. I literally just said it. I just said I'm 100% against this. And people are like, he's trying to justify it. Fuck me, dude. I swear to God, these people are unhinged as fuck. Jaegerbomb says, they haven't told us anything in Bahrain. Media will find out what's going on first before we do. Wish us luck. I hope we aren't 1940s Philippines. Yeah, I wish you luck for sure. Jeremy's trying to justify pineapple on pizza. Honestly, I think it's a debate on, do I hate Lindsey Graham more or pineapple on pizza? It's a debate. Probably going to go with Lindsey Graham, but it's close. It's close. Mike S says Trump is trying to end this before something begins out of it. He is hard flexing and he has the cards. Let the man do his job. Criticism after. That's where I'm at with it, man. Let him do his job. Krogbay says the moment bombs were dropped on Iran, DEFCON went 4. We've had DEFCON 4 or 3 twice in the last decade. Let's not F this shit up. Ethan Hunt, please, no. Mike S says, look, bros, Trump is going to do what he thinks is best for America. That is what he has always done. If you don't trust him, trust his ego. He wants to leave a legacy. Don't be a panicking. This is very true. Trump cares very much about his legacy. Very much about his legacy. Harley Dave says, Jeremy, how many terrorists do you think Biden led into the U.S.? Happy birthday. Insert random mod name. Sadly, he probably let millions into this country, Harley. Sadly. And thank you, brother, for the $20 super chat. Dougie B for a proper 199. And he says, for your social battery, putting up with the idiots can really drain a person. Let's effing go. And you know how to make everybody feel better? A little bit of Sydney Sweeney in the house. Sydney Sweeney makes everyone feel better about the current circumstances right now.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on. I'm going to do it.
Do not come.
I'm going to come. Beautiful white paint. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. Where it's rough, but it's coming and now it's turned around. It turns around and it's coming and it's going to, I say, oh, because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's, oh.
There we go. Thank you, Dougie B. So the New York Times, again, take it with a grain of salt. The New York Times is reporting that Iran officials are ready to launch attacks on U.S. military bases if America enters the war. That is from the New York Times. One more time. New York Times reporting that Iran officials are ready to launch attacks on U.S. military bases if America enters the war. So, things are crazy. They're certainly wild. And my recommendation is to don't be a panicking. Now, panicking doesn't mean you can't criticize Trump. It doesn't mean you can't. I'm going to criticize him. If America enters this war, I will be very critical of Trump's decision to do that. I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to say he should be impeached or removed from office, but it will be a bad decision in my humble opinion if in fact that's what happens. So when I say don't be a panicking, I'm just saying don't be a panicking. And if you don't know what a panicking is, it's right here. A panicking A person whose entire personality is producing fear porn aimed at anything President Donald Trump says, does, or suggests. There's a theory that they read the book Chicken Little too much as a child. Examples of panicans include anyone employed by CNN, MSNBC, those who include pronouns in their bio, and especially those who said Biden was mentally fit. Everyone on The View is a panican. That is the official definition of panican right there. So don't be a panican. That's simple. Okay, back to the live feed on Fox News, just so we can see if there's anything that's going to be breaking here soon. What is this? Okay. Don't be a panican. It's the best advice you can give anyone at this particular moment in time. Matt Frog says, when Trump said Iran can't have nukes, everyone assumed that Trump would make a deal with Iran. Not sure the negotiation team let their guard down, not lure the negotiation team to let their guard down so Israel can have a sneak attack, destroying the ability to avoid war. Yeah, I mean, you know, it is, my gut feeling still is that Trump is going to try to work a deal out. That's my gut feeling still. But until we hear it from the administration, I have no idea. Shaka Zulu says, Trump supporting Israel has been a red flag for a long time. He is anti-war president, and I was hoping that Israel wouldn't drag him into supporting a war. Jimmy Hoop says BlackRock owns America. Axel Jensen says this just in: Trump signed an executive order to send Lindsey Graham to the front lines first if we go to war. Okay, I'm reconsidering my my stance on this now. I if this is true, I support us going to war. If this is true, I fully support it. Just send Lindsey Graham and only Lindsey Graham. The Royal We says, how much control? That's a joke. That's a joke. How much control do you have over what comments a super chat? I can't post here what I can post on other channels. I have no control over that. I don't have any filters or anything like that for super chats. So YouTube is very weird when it comes to stuff like that. Classic Stang Lover, where they get the membership. Thank you. I would say we have one of the more lenient chats. Like, we're very lenient here. Like, really, it's about, you know, spam is really the primary rule. There are a few exceptions here and there, but like spam is the only thing that we try. I mean, we kind of let, you know, like if you want to talk shit about me, if you criticize me, go for it. You know what I mean? Hunter says, damn, there are more trolls here today, or am I tripping? Yeah, there's a lot of people upset about the situation, and they want me to have their opinion, and when I don't have their opinion, they get mad. Evan says, crazy how quick this coalition has fallen apart. This is why I no longer have any hope for our government. I don't know if it's fallen apart. I think people are like, it's MAGA is not an echo chamber. I know that that's like, they want you to believe that, but it never has been. I'll go back to when Trump talked about the fucking vax and Operation Warp Speed. He literally got booed off of the stage by his own supporters. Like, they didn't want to hear it. There's been people that Trump has brought up on stage and that the crowd has just booed the hell out of them. You know? Mike S says Israeli officials literally means trust me, bro. I agree. Let's see. Is it, how you say that? Yusage? For 20, breaking news, Jeremy's gayness has reached critical levels. What? I don't even know what homodringen is. It's incoming. What? I'm not even trying to read all that shit. I'll let you guys read it. There's just too many fucking gay fucking jokes in there. Again, the gay jokes were funny like a year ago. I just kind of like read them and move on from it because it's just whatever. But people are going to keep them up, and it's fine. But after like 10 billion of them, it's just like, okay, haha, gay joke. Great. Phil says Trump knows exactly what he's doing. No matter what happens, he's right and will succeed. Tucker is kooky bish for real and not right. Leanback says Hollywood executives approach the jail cell. The voice of Harvey emerges from the darkness. You couldn't live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. I mean, I think Harvey, if you want to still convict Harvey Weinstein, like, I'm fine with that. Keep him like convicted, but give him some control over the hot chicks that we can have in Hollywood and movies. Because when Harvey was running things, we had hot chicks. Now we have they, thems. I'm just saying. I think that there's something to it. Okay? I do. Little Jims says, why are these panicans suddenly listening to the mainstream media now? After all the lying and deception they have been pushed on for the last couple of years, they are trying to set the narrative. I think they're just trying to listen to anything that gives them their, again, it's anti-Trump people that smell blood in the water, and they're looking for anything that can line up with their anti-Trump narrative, and that's fine. Go for it. And I'm not seeing any updates at the moment, so things are just moving very slowly now. Like earlier, like this right here, this is what Trump posted this on True Social last night. I have not reached out to Iran for any peace talks in any way, shape, or form. This is more highly fabricated fake news. If they want to talk, they know how to reach me. They should have taken the deal that was on the table. Would have saved a lot of lives. So this is the thing that gets lost in all of this, is that people that accuse Trump of being a warmonger, warmongers aren't begging for their opponent to sign a peace deal. They're just not. That doesn't make sense. Warmongers aren't begging for a peace deal. And 60 days is an eternity. Yes, Harley Dave, I agree completely. Let's see. Right there. Nothing. So it's just looking for, again, you got the Israeli media situation that just doesn't make any sense. That they're saying that we've agreed to that we're going to join the war, but that's from an Israeli media source. Okay, Wizard Man says Trump is making a huge mistake listening to Israeli intelligence. Mossad is just as bad as the CIA. Tactical Dish Soap says, did you get your 7th nuclear vaccine booster today? 2 weeks to slow the spread, baby. Mike S says Dave Smith only voted for Trump because his own party nominated a gay retard. Up yours, YouTube. Too High Strung says U.S. joins war. Iran knows it's done. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Minecraft Mazda says, so he prefers Tampon Tim and Heels Up Harris for president. Lol. Did he ever call for impeachment of Biden, providing funding and wars for endless or weapons for wars? To be fair, he probably did. He probably did. We're talking about Dave Smith. CG says Trump makes people emotionally unstable simply by existing. He truly lives rent-free in people's heads. Very true. Vault 95 says, I want Krista to hold me in these scary times. Beep. Richard says, how many times has Trump only blown up the side of a mountain and moved on? I see Trump warning them he's coming to do the job and leaves. Simple Jeremy says, Jeremy's trying to justify his bad scores in Mario Kart. I fucking love Mario Kart World, man. I've been playing the shit out of it. Axel Jensen says, war with Iran or Snake Eyes 2? War with Iran. If you're asking me, do you want war with Iran or Snake Eyes 2? Give me war with Iran. War with Iran would do less damage to humanity than a Snake Eyes 2 movie. Snake Eyes 2 would do more damage to humanity. Those are the rules. I didn't make it up. Richard says Lindsey Graham will have his ladybugs for backup. Let's see. The Persian freed the Jews freed Persian. John Wayne says, you can't win, Jeremy. Someone commented on the clip of you calling out Dave Smith and said, I'm glad I'm not subscribed to this neocon. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. You can't get caught up in what people want. Like, the people that are begging you to say what they want you to say will turn on you the moment. Like, you can say what they want you to say in that moment, but if you're pandering to those people, they will 100% turn on you on the next topic, because you can never chase somebody that needs to, like, they don't, if you need your favorite YouTuber to validate your own opinion, that's a problem. Harley Dave says, Jeremy, I'm just happy we have thousands of new experts in global politics and masters of strategy and international warfare. 100%. 100%. I'm something of an expert myself. Philip Butler says, we won't hear until after it starts. Potentially. I did expect to hear something a little bit sooner. Okay, that's the same thing that we got earlier. Is this what you voted for? Is this what we voted for right here? Is this what we voted for? Have we ever seen Donald Trump wear sunglasses, by the way? I don't think I've ever seen Trump wear sunglasses. Let's see here. Tyler says, first term, OMG, Trump is going to start World War III with North Korea. Second term, OMG, Trump's going to start World War III with Iran. It's the same wetards. Very true. Rob says, apparently, Mohammed, I don't even know how to say that name, has reached room temperature today. They should have taken the deal. Skywalker DFS says, Man of Steel or the Iran War? What would you rather watch? The Iran War. CG says, Lindsey Graham eating pineapple on pizza, best way to hate both. Matt Frog says, would you watch the Snake Eyes 100 times in a row or Titanfall 3? Well, I mean, in theory, I want a Titanfall 3. I just don't believe that Respawn, the people that are there now, would do a good job on it. But in theory, I absolutely do. So right here, Disclosed TV. This was reported 40-something minutes ago. I'm not here. I don't see any. Yeah, right here. I agree. These accounts are being reckless by sharing these unconfirmed reports by Israeli outlets. They have been wrong countless times, and yet everyone keeps posting them. Same with Axios reports. 100%. 100%. This is what I'm talking about on social media right now. It's crazy. Holy shit. It's out of control right now, the amount of bullshit that we're seeing, and they just keep running with it. I think there was a tweet by Jack Posobiec that I thought was good. Let me see if I can find it. Jack Posobiec tweets more than anybody. Jack Posobiec has 283,000 tweets. He tweets more than anybody. My God. This is perfect right here. I'm not going to sit here and be lectured by people who actively worked against Trump in the primary and general. That's the stance right there. Oh, by the way, look at this clip right here. This might be the funniest thing I've seen on Twitter. I got to find the bookmark. I don't. Look at this right here. Look at this. So, explosion heard near in Tehran. Ethel says, nothing heard here in Gainesville, VA. Will keep you informed. Thanks. That's awesome. I saw that. I was like, I think this is what the internet's for right here. This is what the internet's for. Not all this other bullshit. So apparently Arnold appeared on The View. I am not a fan of Arnold anymore after his screw your freedoms comment. I don't think that's something you can walk back. But he made those screw your freedoms comment back in 2020. But I have not seen this clip, but apparently he didn't tell The View what they wanted to hear.
Self, you are an immigrant. You're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you said that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was embraced by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here with the age of 21, with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that. I mean, in no other country in the world could you do that. Every single thing, if it's
but screw your freedoms.
My bodybuilding career, if it's my acting career, becoming governor, the beautiful family that I've created, all of this is because of America.
That's true.
And so this is why I'm so happy to see firsthand that this is the greatest country in the world, and this is the land of opportunity. And I think because I'm such a proud American and a proud immigrant that came to America, I was asked to do on July 4th a big speech, the keynote speech at Mount Vernon, where George Washington was laid to rest, and where he lived and all that, to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, the existence of America. And I will be doing the speech there. They asked me because I'm an immigrant, and there will be 7,000 some people there, and there will be people that will be sworn in and will become citizens that day.
That's great.
So it's really a great celebration. This is what this is all about, is to celebrate people becoming Americans and coming to America.
So right now, and apparently something's going to happen at 2 minutes and 20 seconds in, but they are not getting the answers that they want. They want it. Now, to be fair, Arnold has TDS, big time TDS. And I think that they were hoping to get an anti-Trump rant out of him, and they haven't gotten anything except for him saying America is the greatest country in the world.
And all that. And so I just think the world of the great kind of a history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal. And those people that are doing illegal things in America and they're the foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest. And you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can to keep things clean and to make my bed. And to
Why are they putting their arm on it? Why is she putting her hand on his arm? Fuck you. Let the man make his point.
And I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can to keep things clean and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do, rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. But you have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school programs, Special Olympics, or whatever it is. Make this country a better place.
They hated that answer so much. They hated it. Now, what's glorious about all this is, so, Arnold has TS, and he actually, so when Trump ran for, president, I believe I may have a few of these details mixed up. I'm not sure. I believe that The Apprentice was still going on, the Celebrity Apprentice. And of course, when Trump decided to run for president, he didn't renew his contract with NBC. So they decided to bring in Arnold to be the Celebrity Apprentice, to run that show. And it failed miserably. It only made one season and they canceled it. It failed miserably. And it's so funny because they thought like they could just bring Arnold into it. And I've never seen Arnold's version of the Celebrity Apprentice at all. I've never seen it. But it just shows you that Trump made that show. He made that show. So I'm sure that really crushed his ego, him being a Trump hater. That he couldn't take Trump's show over and it just failed miserably. But yeah, in terms of that answer, that was a really good answer. And doesn't change the fact that I think Arnold has, he's not as bad off as people like Mark Ruffalo or Mark Hamill, but he certainly has a pretty strong case of TDS. I remember, like, God, wasn't it on CNN? Arnold was talking about Trump wouldn't even beat Joe Biden. Yeah, right here it is. So this is back in 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Interview with CNN. Let's go. I think it's towards the end.
When it comes down to the actual election, there's too many people now that have seen Camel's back. So it's not, that alone would not drive anyone to Washington. I think there was just such an unbelievable dissatisfaction. There's so much anger.
You said history shouldn't repeat itself. Donald Trump is now the front runner to be the nominee of your party, of the Republican Party. Given everything you said, does that concern you?
Absolutely not, because being a front runner of one party and letting them dig this hole deeper and deeper is going to make it easy for the Democrats in the end to win. It's sad to see that they couldn't come up with a new talent, with a new face that is a reasonable, smart, intelligent person that can lead this country in a Republican way.
You think there's no way he would win again?
No.
What if he did?
What is if it is a hypothetical question? But I can guarantee you that he's going to go maybe get the Republican nomination. Then when it comes down to the actual election, there's too many people now that have seen what he did as president, that I think when it comes to the majority on election day, I think they will see the difference between one or the other. And believe me, I'm not the first one to say, hey, this is really great to have Biden back as president. No, but there's just no better option there, the way it looks right now.
Connecting this back to January 6th, you say that.
Yeah. So anyway, point being is that he had a good answer for the View, but he has a severe case of TDS. So not going to be cheering Arnold on anytime soon. Iranian state media had said there is a surprise tonight that the world will remember for centuries. This is from Iranian state media. Holy crap. Now, do we believe that? I don't believe that any more than I believe Israeli state media. We've got this clip right here.
Got some breaking news that's coming in from our partner channel, NBC. As we were reporting earlier, the national security team inside the Situation Room have been meeting with President Trump, and multiple current and former administration officials are saying that President Trump is considering a range of options, including a possible U.S. strike on Iran. So that's just coming in from NBC News, saying following that national security meeting that President Trump had in the Situation Room, we understand that a range of options, including a possible U.S. strike on Iran, could potentially be on the table.
So I would say don't take any of this as a fact. Just trying to tell you what's going on and what's being discussed right now, but don't take any of this as a fact. None, until you hear it directly from Trump. Now, let me look over here on True Social. Right here. And we have Trump. Well, he just made a True Social tweet, but it's about the 2020 election and China's plot to aid Joe Biden in the 2020 election. So no updates from Trump on any of this stuff right here. Okay, no updates. Now I'm gonna have to end this stream here soon because I have Tuesday night's main event tonight over on the Main Geeks and Gamers channel. If things pop off, I will go live later, or I will just leave that stream and go live if things pop off. Piano Dean says keep America great. America is the only country in the world where you can order a hamburger from someone and they can order one right back. D. Watt says, what the fuck just got here? And we're talking about pineapple on pizza. It's terrible. Mad Frog says, why did Iran put its country next to all of our military bases? NYBSFP says, never forget what happened to the boy who cried wolf. He got eaten because there was actually a wolf after all. Yep. That's what happens when you cry about Trump for 10 years and then you may have a valid criticism, but nobody cares. Andy Plays Game says, so we can all call you fig because it's no longer, or we can't, you can, but we can't call you retarded because you call yourself that and it's true anyway. That's all the insults. What else do we have here, Jeremy? What else? Well, yeah, I mean, calling me retarded is not really an insult because I am retarded. Calling me gay is an insult because I'm not gay. But it is an insult. But I am retarded. Kelly R says, I figured you and Arnold would be bros after his fender bender in California. He got out of his Hummer with his camo Crocs on. I mean, I like Arnold Schwarzenegger as a actor. I don't like him as a person. Jim says, if USA gets involved with the war, this will be bad for the future of USA. Panic and Skyfaller says, pineapple on pizza. Dead and Dug Up says, hey, sculpted some figurine designs of some of you for FNT. Guys dropped in your DMs if you ever want to check it out. I think I saw it. I think if it's a wrestler or whatever, I think so. Taker says the UK does not have free speech, which is the hallmark of tyranny. So those anti-Trump idiots in the UK still don't have rights. Gremlin says, watch the PBD clip. It's only about 5 minutes long. Well, yeah, I got to go right now. I'm sorry, that was early when you sent that. I will check it out, though. I'll probably be live later tonight with the way things are going. East Coast Toasted Boy says, Celebrity Apprentice is Trump's show. You can't replace him with anyone. Absolutely. With that, we're going to end it. We got Tuesday night's main event happening on the main Geeks and Gamers channel a little bit later tonight. D-Day Cobra 2 clips will be uploaded over there. So let's see. The latest we have right now is, again, this quote right here. Iranian State TV says, tonight, a great surprise will occur. One that the world will remember for centuries. I don't know what that means, and I don't know if it should be taken seriously or not, but there's so much bullshit, so we're just going to have to filter through all of that. So thank you, guys. I'll see you over on Geeks and Gamers, and then I might see you again a little bit later tonight. So you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to all of you later. What time and channel? In 1 hour from now on the main Geeks and Gamers channel. I'm sure mods can drop links, and we can go from there. So, all right. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.